So today we're looking at the Hasbro Marvel Legends Uncanny X-Force DEATHLOK figure. So this is a standalone figure. Does not come in a wave, just released on its own. They've been doing this with several releases recently. And this time we have DEATHLOK. They did it with War Machine Punisher. They did it with the Invincible Iron Man lately. And now our newest addition to the X-Force, we have DEATHLOK. And on the back side, we just get a picture of DEATHLOK and a read up on the back there. And there's the same picture on that side. So let's get him open and check him out. Alright, once we get DEATHLOK out of the box, he looks like this. Sporting the same exact look, or, sculpt as our previous DEATHLOK figure. This is just a repaint, and it works really well. It looks really good too. And he comes with some of the previous accessories that he did come with. That includes the big old gun, the big old Gatling gun or turret gun. If I could get it to focus, that'd be lovely. There you go. So that makes a return there, as well as the bullets, but this time around they painted the bullets kind of like this transparent yellow. So that's interesting. We do get his pistol weapon back, and it's only painted at the scope right there. Got a red paint at the front of the scope. And that's it there. And then we have this shotgun weapon, which I don't believe the original release came with. So as we take a closer look at DEATHLOK, you can see all the nice detail on his face sculpt, just like the regular release. Everything looks well, looks good. And he does have this backpack piece, which is removable, just like the regular release. And then the paint job came out good and clean, at least on my specific figure. This cord is removable, just like the original release too. So let's take a look at the articulation of the figure. The head will swivel left and right, up and down on that ball jointed hinge. Arms will go forward and back, in and out, super stiff there, but he can do it. There is a bicep swivel, double jointed elbows, swivel at the wrist with a side hinge on this hand and a regular hinge on this hand right there. We have an ab crunch, a waist swivel, T-jointed legs, go forward and back, in and out. We have a nicely hidden thigh swivel with a double jointed knee, a shin swivel that's nicely hidden as well, hinge at the foot, and a rocker at the angle right there. We do get this really nice holster on the side for his pistol weapon with the scope here, so that fits on just fine. And when it comes to the shotgun, there's not really any spot to hold it or holster it, so he's going to have to carry this one in his hand, and he does grip it just fine as well. So that's great. It's always good when the figures hold their weapons just fine. And of course, the turret gun is just going to be held. You cannot holster this beast of a weapon here, but this should fit just fine. Yep, he has pretty nice grip, even though it's very heavy, he can still hold on to it too. It doesn't really fall off. And then the bullets do attach to the slot on the side here, just like that, and we're good to go there. So as far as I can see, there aren't any major sculpting differences at all. Actually, they didn't add any type of sculpt. This is just a simple repaint here, and you can see that they did replace the American flag. So I mean, does that count as a sculpt difference? I guess it does, since they technically sculpted that flag in there. I mean, the actual flag is printed, but the square is a sculpt, and then that circle is a sculpt. So I don't know. It's not anything major, but aside from that, everything else is the same. All the line work and whatnot there it's just painted differently. So there's a look at him from the front. Let's turn him around and see if he'll stand. Okay, and then from the back, you can see them side by side. So the silver is definitely different. They went with a more, I guess, darker silver for the X-Force version here, and then it's a darker backpack, if you want to call this a backpack, for his back piece. But one thing I can say is that the color for the face, or just the overall face, looks a little better on the X-Force version. I like that version a little better. It's a little darker brown, and it looks a little better. Of course, the eyes are painted differently too, with the red eye on X-Force and the yellow one on the regular DEATHLOK right there. And that's about it. And there's a quick full body shot of the two. There we have him next to Havoc from the 80th anniversary 2-pack with Polaris. And speaking of Polaris, there she is next to DEATHLOK. A Mezco 112 Collective. This is Gomez. in my one and only Storm Collectibles figure, we have Mike Tyson. I'm going to push him to the back to get him in frame, but you can just see how tall he is next to the Marvel Legends Deathlok. And next to some fellow X-Force members, we have the X-Force version of Deadpool, and then we have the X-Force version of X-23. Alright, that's going to do it for the X-Force Deathlok figure. Hope you guys enjoyed this review. If you did, leave a like, leave a comment, let me know what you guys think, and as always, have a great day. Bye.
That's crispy.